This is my home. This is my kitchen. This is my family. Tilly. Jack. Holly. Megan. And of course, my wife Tana.
You may think you're the busiest person in the world, but over this series, I'm going to prove it's still possible to cook stunning food at home. My rules are simple. Home cooking has to be easy. It's got to be fast. It's got to be delicious. So, if you think you can't cook amazing food at home, think again. These are the only recipes you'll ever need.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Great home cooking is built around classic dishes. Everyone's got their favourites, from super simple breakfast to traditional Sunday roast. The secret is not to let your classics go stale. Make sure you keep your cooking exciting by tweaking and adapting it. Here are some of my ultimate classics. Dishes we couldn't do without in our house, but given delicious new twists.
First, I turn the quintessentially British breakfast of boiled egg and soldiers on its head. Next, my eclectic, wholesome take on a classic ploughman's lunch.
Ham or cheese or Stilton, it's hard to dictate which one's the best. I'm gonna put all three in.
My eldest, Megan, helps me rustle up a new spin on a classic roast beef with Yorkshire pud.
It'd be amazing.
It's incredible. There, nice big chunks, lovely.
And we get stuck in to make an unconventional Eton mess.
Oh, you okay?
I got meringue in my eye.
These are my classic dishes with a twist: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. First, family favourite, boiled eggs with a soldier that will make your taste buds stand to attention.
There's something quite nostalgic about a boiled egg. It's something that's never lost its magic when you slice that top off and dunk that soldier into the yolk.
You can't mess with a deliciously runny yolk, but this is what I like to dunk in it.
An anchovy soldier. Anchovies into pepper mortar. No salt, naturally. Yeah, anchovies are very salty, so just a touch of pepper.
Rich in omega-3s, the amazing tinned anchovy is a natural flavour enhancer, and I use it to pepper many a savoury dish, from roast lamb to the humble toasted soldier.
Grind them to a really nice, smooth paste. The smell of that is almost like being at the seaside. Now, get your soft butter, and just put half the butter in first. 50-50 is the way, 50% anchovy, 50% butter. That way, you've got that real nice, salty creaminess. Mix that up. That's absolutely delicious. Trust me, finishing that anchovy butter on a slice of grilled fish, I'm in heaven. The bread. This is a sourdough. Delicious, very crusty. Take 4 nice slices. Now, get that pan nice and hot. A couple of tablespoons of that anchovy oil into the pan, and then get your bread and lightly fry each side. The smell of that anchovy oil is incredible. Take that out. Now, bring your water up to the boil. The secret of softly boiling an egg is to place them into the water gently, on a spoon, in, and just tilt so they don't hit the bottom. Nice and light. Up to the boil, count to 5, turn the gas down. Is it 4.5 minutes? Is it 5 minutes for a soft-boiled egg? I've cooked thousands of them, and every time it's 4.5 minutes. Whilst that's boiling, get your bread and spread that on there. That is incredible. Chopped parsley brings that kind of freshness. Goes brilliantly well with the anchovies. Hear that crunch on. I'm sorry, but I can't resist. Oh my God. Right, gas off. 1, beauty in. 2, I feel like a 5-year-old again. This is that moment when you open the vault and that little magic inside is all yours. There's a great twist on a great classic. Wow.
Perfectly soft-boiled eggs with dressed-up anchovy butter soldiers.
Who would have thought that egg and soldiers could be that delicious? Classic recipes tend to be made with ingredients we all know very well. But however familiar they are, it always pays to hunt out the very best. Here are a few tips when you're buying the key ingredients for today's lunch and dinner recipes.
First off, what could be more classically British than the cheese that's been produced here since the 12th century? Cheddar. Originally made in the caves of the Cheddar Gorge in the West Country, it's still far and away the UK's cheese of choice. In Britain, cheddar outsells all the other cheeses combined. Good quality cheddar has an amber, yellow hue, and it's firm, but not greasy or hard. Ribber beef is the classic granddaddy of all roasting joints. Its generous marbling of fat keeps this flavoursome meat moist and succulent. As a rule of thumb, one rib should generously feed 2 mouths. To feed my rabble for dinner tonight, I'll be needing a 3-rib joint. No roast beef dinner is complete without the nose-tingling delight that is horseradish sauce. A member of the mustard family, this root is related to wasabi, broccoli and cabbage, but looks more like a knobbly parsnip. For dinner tonight, I'm going to break with tradition and give my Yorkshire pud batter a delicious horseradish kick.
A dish becomes a classic because it's delicious and somehow strikes a chord with us. It just works. Sometimes these dishes can become tired, but a clever twist helps make them fresh again.
You can't get more classic than a centuries-old midday meal of bread, cheese and beer. Reinvented and marketed by pubs as a ploughman's lunch in the 60s, I'm now giving it my 21st century take.
Like ploughman's with the most amazing but super simple beer-baked bread, hearty and full of flavour.
For a really quick and easy bread dough, sieve a mix of wholemeal and self-raising white flour with a good pinch of salt.
Salt is really important in the bread. It's the first thing I do once I've cracked it and smelt. You want to smell that salt baked throughout. Beer in, about 250 mils of beer. And the reason why this recipe works so well is that the beer, it's got that yeast. So naturally, it's going to work beautifully. Give that a really good mix. I'm looking for the mixture to be quite wet. If the dough becomes too firm, then it's going to cook dry in the centre. Just as it starts to fall through the whisk. That is perfect. Beautiful.
This mix will work really well as one large loaf, but I want to make my ploughman's a little bit more special.
Small tins give it that kind of intimacy. And I quite like having my own little loaf. Give the moulds a really nice lining with butter. Make sure you butter the top. Now, tablespoon of flour. Dust inside the mould. That will stop your mixture sticking. Tap out any excess. 3/4 fill your little moulds. We're going to allow it to sort of rise just so it comes above the mould and forms this really nice miniature loaf. Onto the tray, centimetre apart. Into the oven, 25 to 30 minutes at 180. Something quite nice about the smell of home-baked bread in the kitchen. Delicious.
No ploughman's is complete without pickled onions.
Red onion is a lot sweeter, less harsh than a white onion. The early days of ploughman's, you've got those ghastly, sharp, pickled onions that make you almost cry when you're crunching them. I'm gonna lightly pickle my red onion. Just push your fingers through so you get these nice sort of onion rings. A little touch of salt, a little sprinkle of sugar, and then a couple of cloves in there. That gives it a really nice sort of perfume and sort of makes the pickling slightly more mellow. Red wine vinegar. Now, if you haven't got red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, it's just as good, but red matches the red onion, so it goes hand in glove. A couple of tablespoons of vinegar. Just give that a really good mix.
To speed up the pickling process, use a weight to put pressure on the onions.
As the weight presses down on the onions, the clove, the salt, the sugar, the vinegar work their magic. And it comes out with a really nice, light, fragrant pickle.
For my 21st century ploughman's, I'm creating an all-in-one salad and bringing the traditional elements together with a punchy dressing. A tablespoon of English mustard, a tablespoon of honey, a touch of salt and pepper, and finish off with white wine vinegar and olive oil.
Now, generally, it's sort of 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. That's the sort of general base. You don't really think of a vinaigrette with a ploughman's, but this is a really nice sort of modern approach to a ploughman's.
For my ploughman's salad, I'm using a mixture of robust and crunchy romaine lettuce and punchy watercress.
If I was making a watercress soup, I'd use the stalks. But the stalks are a little bit bitter, so I just grab them like that, pinch them, and then twist. Very peppery, very hot, but so juicy. Watercress in, your celery, chop it nice and finely. It's the one thing that everybody leaves is that stick of celery, so scatter it amongst the salad.
A bit of oomph and colour from some sliced radishes and sweetness from a thinly sliced apple. Whilst you're busy throwing your ploughman's salad together, do not forget about your beer bread.
Before it comes out, I'm going to glaze the top with a little touch of milk. That'll put a really nice finish to the bread. Back in for the last 5 minutes. Now for the magic in the ploughman's. Generally, you'd see it as a ham or cheddar or Stilton ploughman's. It's hard to dictate which one's the best.
So, for the ultimate ploughman's, I'm adding all three.
For your cheddar, peel some nice shards of that delicious, creamy cheddar. Just get them dancing on top. The dressing, drizzle round in circles. And then finally, our delicious, lightly pickled onions. Give them a good squeeze. And look, just dot the onions around. Bread is ready. It's got that nice, yeasty smell. Warm, crusty, and delicious. And there you go. That is my classic, modern version of a traditional, stunning ploughman's. Wow.
My delicious all-in-one ploughman's salad with individual beer bread loaves, updated for the 21st century. Next up is the ultimate roast beef dinner with a twist.
This
It'll be amazing.
is incredible.
And my eldest daughter, Megan, finds out it takes a bit of muscle to be a pro chef tosser.
Nice, yeah? That was lovely. And again?
Oh, I'm gonna drop
done.
it, see.